I don't know, have we got enough to go with at the moment, to be convincing? How can we just condense it down into a short message that, this is beyond the UK political establishment?
Well, I don't think we need to be convincing.
We've got to put it over in a way that it sounds like we know what we're talking about, really. Because this is all still fresh to me. It's still all. I'm still looking. I'm still opening my eyes to the enormousness of the whole ORG connections and everything. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can line it up and then say, what do you think, Stav, whatever on that, and then I can sort of go with it. I don't know.
Right, okay. Well, I didn't know anything about it until you showed it me, and I've asked a few people on Facebook, and so far nobody else that I've spoke to have heard about it either. First thing I noticed was the common purpose theme that stood out quite clearly. Not really got as much green on the website as such, but the purple's definitely there. It's got a bit of green, but there you go. So it's got the colours, and need we say more about the EU in itself? I think a lot on its about page, where it says about us and what's the EFA is. That's Agenda 21. If you know what that is, then you can see that for where it talks about securing democracy and safeguarding this and human rights and all that. So my opinion on the EFA, I think it is an organisation, like you said, that branches out to many like political parties, and other groups, really, movements, anything really. It can reach out to. It's pretty much got its doors open to any. So at the bottom it says the European Free Alliance's scope is spread over 17 EU member states, and I'll give a list of that in just a short while on this video. So that's the homepage. We'll just go to members of the Bureau. So there's quite a few in there, and one you mentioned to me was very interesting, which was the green side of it. And I think that's, well, quite clearly it has to be Caroline Lucas. What was it that you were saying down where you are about now in Brighton and that, and well, what your views are on that? What would you say?
Well, she's the only MP in Parliament that the Greens have who's got a constituency in Brighton. It's the actual constituency in Brighton is Brighton Pavilion. She's the MP for Brighton Pavilion, which is right in the middle of Brighton. So she has actually a seat in Parliament, and it's the only Green seat there is, one parliamentary member, and that's her. And also with the connection with the LGBT movement and all the rest of this that seems to be all pulling in the same direction under the same umbrella, if you like. So that's the big connection for me to that particular region, that area. I think just the break-up of England. I mean, Scotland's a done deal. Northern Ireland, I think, will be a done deal. Whether it's reunified with the rest of Ireland, it doesn't matter, because the rest of Ireland is already in the EU and taken over anyway. So that would just be absorbed into Ireland. So the Scottish and the Irish will be taken in with just a referendum with each. one referendum for each one of those. That's easily done. That can be done in 12 hours, whatever. And of course, the interesting one is London, which has been sort of put around as a joke, but I don't think it's a joke, especially when you find out that Sadiq Khan has been in conversation with Nicola Sturgeon, talking about this. So, I mean, that sort of gives that some type of credibility. And yeah, and I think the way they're going to get around it all is by devolvement, devolution of England up into small areas, and which will go straight over to the EU via this EFA. Because I think if you was to get people to vote in London or Brighton as a separate region, they would just grab it with both hands, and there's nothing the UK government can do about it, because everything is signed over in the Lisbon Treaty already anyway. So it's already a done deal, and UK political parties, or the constitution or the parliamentary sovereignty is already overridden and given away legally anyway, and that seems to be all what people care about. They don't care about constitutions anymore, and a country's sovereignty, it wasn't even mentioned in the referendum, and nobody picked it out. So there we are. That's about it, PJ. That's as far as I've got, really. And with these ORG connections, the many ORG connections to this European Free Alliance through the back door into the EU, is massive. And it seems to me it's mostly a young people's type movement, and it all ties in. So there we are.
Yeah, we'll talk about youth movement side of things in just a minute. But yeah, no one spotted Boris Johnson. What he said in the article he put out. No one spotted David Cameron talking about sovereignty in his speech. So who knows? Is there any point in looking into any of this? Because we're seeming the common denominator between it all is that we're all missing certain points. So let's just move into the youth. But before we do that, I just want to show that Free Cornwall article that you sent me, dated in 2012, October 24th. I've got that map on screen, and I'll pass it on to you and let you point out what it is that you pointed out to me, and I'll scroll down so people can read a bit of this article as you're talking as well. So yeah, I'll let you discuss the map, if you will.
Okay, what we got? We've lost the links here. Hang on, PJ. Which thereabouts. Let's go there. Is this the map? This is the map. Here we are. This is the European Free Alliance zones as they are now. They've already got members in the European Free Alliance. Well, first of all, the whole of Scotland is a member through the SNP. So they're already, home and nosed and signed up to this, the Scottish Nationalist Party. There's an interesting, one of the other interesting regions that's already got members is Cornwall. That's a mauve colour, common purposey colour. And of course, the interesting thing about Cornwall as well, which I haven't mentioned to you, is that it belongs to the Prince of Wales, which is Charles, isn't it? It actually belongs to him, and we know how much that Prince Charles promotes the youth of the country with his organisation. Perhaps you can remind me what it's called, but anyway, it's all the things he does for employment and things for the youth, special schemes. I can't remember. Prince of Wales Trust. Prince of Wales Trust, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's very interesting. We do have Wales, which is coloured in. They have members. And most of that goes under the Clyde Cymru, or Clyde Cymru, and depending on how you want to pronounce it, but they're members of it as well. There's another interesting area called Yorkshire, which is Yorkshire First, YF. Apparently it was started for someone's back garden, believe it or not, and they've got their own website and everything. Now all the rest of England is not coloured in at all, but like I said before, Ireland is Northern Ireland isn't coloured in either. But like I say, I think that would be just reunified and devolved into Ireland as one big block. When it comes to England, I think this is where this devolution, that I don't know if people have looked into it much, but we're of people and mayorships. This mayorship's like Andy Burnham has put himself forward, I think, for the candidate of Mayor of Manchester. And I think this will be one of these little devolved areas that will have a separate referendum. All these little areas that will be devolved would have a referendum on whether they want to go into this either EU or through this European Free Alliance as members. Whichever way, it will be under the umbrella of Europe anyway. And I think this is what they will do, like with Brighton and Caroline Lucas and the Green Party, who are affiliated with European Free Alliance, all the Green parties throughout the country, all the Green Party members and ORGs and everything, will go in that way. So like Brighton and District might be another area for devolution. And all these little devolution areas, there might be a couple of dozen throughout of England, will have their own little referendums or something like that, or will just become members and just go straight into it anyway. I think the way that things stand at the moment, the youth of this country, which seems to be split down the middle with a referendum, will probably jump at that and sway all the rest, because the older generation won't really know what it's about. I guess, I don't know, and we'll just go along or whatever. So anyway, that's a bit about the map, but also on the map you've got devolved areas throughout the whole of Europe in a similar type of fashion, which will like make Catalonia independent, the Basque areas, even some parts of France will lose half of its land mass and it'll be called something else. I haven't got the name on here. And then you've got like Britain, which is Western France, which will be its own area. Interesting that Belgium has disappeared and will be in with France. It's just an interesting. We'll put a link to the map and we can go from there. But that's about it for the European Free Alliance. But they're also linked with other ORGs under different things. You can perhaps tell them about the Youth European Free Alliance, the Youth ORG, etc. I'll put it back to you, see if that's any good too, what I've just said. I'm going to carry on from there.
Yeah, that was good. I'll just mention Spain, as article states about it being split up into 6 micro states. And yeah, that'll be about it for the map. So just before we move into youth side of it, I want to bring the following article, which is the members for it, which I'm going to try and find. I did have the link. Member parties. So we're on the member parties page now. You probably not got that link up, Stav, but don't worry about it. So let's find the list of names of the countries that are in. Well, it kind of shows them here, full members. Majority of these I've never even heard of, so I can't really go into detail on each one, but you pointed out the obvious ones, the SMPs, and the Yorkshire First, and a few others. The one in Cornwall, which I forgot the name of. Let me see if I can spot it in this list, just to point it out. It's got a real odd name, to be honest. Well, I can't see it from looking at it just yet, but I'll come back to that. So yeah, we'll move on to the. Oh, these are the observer members as well. A list there. So we'll move on to youth now, and we'll find the link I need for the EFAY, which is this. The European Free Alliance Youth is the youth wing of the European Free Alliance, the European political party. The EFAY is a European-wide youth organisation comprised with members who belong to political organisations that safeguard and promote the cultural, linguistic and national diversity of Europe in a progressive way. Its political principles are the right for self-determination, the recognition of minorities and ethnic groups, the protection of linguistic diversity inside the EU and in the European institutions, the preservation of the multicultural identity of Europe, an inclusive approach with migration issues, the decentralisation and subsidiarity of the politics to a regional and local level, and the condemnation of any type of discrimination, neither by sex, gender or birthplace. We'll go to the website. We've also got a forum as well, but this is the website that I'm showing, and if you want to look at that, some of their articles are not in English, or quite majority of them are not in English, but you should be able to translate them. So I don't know if you got time to look at that youth side website to the EFA Stav, but if you did you have any comments on that?
Well, this is all breaking for us because it's only something we've literally just stumbled on in the last few hours, and we're trying to piece it together. Hang on a sec. We're trying to piece it together and try and make some sense of it. But I mean, I haven't. But that's something perhaps we'll come back to. I don't know in a minute. Trying to piece it together. All I'm trying to do is to make sense of the ongoing situation, because it seems to be snowballing with the I think the political structure and breakup of the UK, the whole parliamentary breakup of everything. You know, the political parties seem to be destroying itself. I mean, with the news of a coup d'etat within Labour, that was meant to be organised by Hilary Benn, has since got the sack by Jeremy Corbyn. He's headed that off at the pass, so to speak, and a lot of other members have gone with him. This is the shadow cabinet of Labour, and as far as I think the last count was 12 other shadow cabinet members have gone with him, resigned, or I only know the sacking of Hilary Benn by Jeremy Corbyn, so I guess his co-conspirators have gone with him. That's the latest news on the Labour Party, which is absolutely disintegrated, even more than it was since the last general election. So this all seems to be ongoing breaking at the moment, and of course there's an infighting, even though some people on the alternative media tend to think it's some type of psyop with the referendum, which is fair comment. I actually think it's beyond that, and I actually do think that the Tory party is going through the same changes and disintegration of the Labour Party. I think there's infighting between the left and the right inside, because there's obviously, there's backbench right wingers. And you've got the Boris and and Govey and IDS and all this business, and other people just disappearing off the face of the earth, like the Theresa May and George Osborne, and it seems like panicking all over the place. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, maybe I'm not looking into it deep enough, but I think this whole mess, I think it's gone beyond party political shenanigans now, and I think it's gone past psyops by government of this country. I think the ORGs and all this European ORGs mixing with this European Free Alliance and other groups that are connected to them are running things now, and I think the game's changed, and that's what you're seeing at the moment, and they're going to have nothing, they won't be able to do anything about it, and I think that the populace being split down the middle now, which is clearly the youth against the last of the baby boomers, which is decisive in the referendum. You can draw a line straight down between the two, and it will always go to the youth, and they'll be offered up this devolved system. I would say an EU devolution of the UK or something like that. And this will all break out in the next 12 months, and it'll be all resolved. And before we know where we are, the UK will be no longer the UK. The Parliament will be a museum. There'll be no sovereignty. There'll be no England. There'll be no UK. There'll be no Great Britain. You'll just have divisions, devolved divisions within England. Well, it won't be England. It just will be, you know, these devolved regions of the EU done in small pieces, but they will be all joined together in England to be one eventually, but that will be later on down the road. But there you go, Peter, that's what I think. I think it's beyond the, you know, the parliamentary shenanigans now. I think it's all that, and I think you're seeing the collapse of it now as it all unfolds. The disintegration of the UK parliamentary system, the constitutional monarchy with a parliament is gone. It's over. It's finished. I don't know. I could be wrong, you know, and hold my hands up. But it's just this feeling I've got with what's happening, and it's insanity because I don't think people realise what they're doing. Obviously, especially the youth, but there you go. This is the change. I think we're seeing it unfold very, very quickly.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. That's one thing we can be sure to say. I think. Well, I feel I can anyway. I'm just showing the Yorkshire First website, as I've not seen it myself till now, to be honest, and I'm gonna have a good look into this after we finish doing this little video. So yeah, Yorkshire First, never heard of him. Absolutely unbelievable that, you know, for me living in Yorkshire, looking into a lot of this stuff, you know, with EU and referendum and all that I'd never actually come across these. I've never seen them on streets. I've never heard anybody mention them. All wrapped up in this EFA with the Green Party and many others out there. So, yep. And was there any other articles that we wanted to put out there? I don't think there is. Let me just try and find the... see if I can have a last look for the country list. Don't think I can find that. So it's one of the think tanks. Yep, that's what it is. It's definitely common purpose. Well, I can't be sure to say, but I'm confident for myself to say that that's where I feel it most certainly is. But I'll leave it to people who are looking at this to make their own mind up for it, which is what it's all about. So, oh, I've got the list. Here we go. The full members. I'm showing the list of members and how they've already broken them up. With France having 6, Italy having 5, Germany having 4, United Kingdom having 4, and Spain having 7. And 3 of those 7 are shared with France. So if things can't get more confusing, all this is going into the heads of the youth, which don't really know much better, and I feel that they're going to be really targeting and using them to bring about this system change, as they can't do it without the people, and what better people to start with than the youth. So yeah, I think we've put it all out there for people to comment on and tell us their thoughts, do some research, look into it, and talk about it, because so far this is the first I've ever heard of it.
Yeah, okay. Well, we did very quickly while you were speaking there, PJ. The Cornish party that's part of the European Free Alliance is called Nebyon Kernel.
Yeah.
I don't know how you pronounce that.
Yeah, that's it.
It's Mebyon and then Kernel or Kernow, Kernow. It's put in Cornwall first. It's got obviously its website. It's put in Cornwall first. Nebyon Kernel is a progressive left of centre party in Cornwall. We are striving to build a confident outward-looking Cornwall that has the power to take decisions directly affecting the people of Cornwall locally. So this is the dissolved, this is the devolved party that are already members of the European Free Alliance, which is tied into Europe, and have got MEP. So as far as I know, so if anybody wants to look that up, I'll perhaps give you a link to that one, PJ. You can put it up as well. And like I say, we know it belongs to Prince Charles, and we know about the Prince's Trust and all of everything for young people and movers and groovers, innovators, whatever. So I mean that all links in. I'm sure we can find more if we look. But there we are. That's what the one in Cornwall is called. But I think the one in Wales, which is Plaid Cymru, will take half of Wales as a devolved region. I think the other half will be whatever it's going to be. They're going to roll out, because all these areas are going to be rolled out fast. I think they're already in place, and obviously it will take some form of referendum for each one, for the back door to the EU. And that's what I think. I think it's beyond the tricks of the UK politicians and Parliament now. I think they're just being undermined because they don't have a say in it anymore. Like I say, if you give this gateway to the young people that are absolutely mad as hell about the referendum, they will take it and say, well, up yours. They don't give a monkeys about Parliament, they don't give a monkeys about sovereignty. They don't have no nationalism in them. They don't want anything to do with country. They want no barriers, borders. They don't want countries. So here we are, and maybe this is what's going to be put out and run out quite. I think it'll be quite quick, actually. I don't think it'll take decades. I think within 2 or 3 years, everybody will see what it is. Because with the way state things are with what's left of the UK Parliament, now is the time. There's a vacuum coming with all these political parties shot to pieces, and they're going to fill it, and that's how they're going to bring it in. So there we are. Might be a load of old nonsense. I don't know. I just don't feel it is. I think it's probably the way they're going to do it. Maybe there's another way. I don't know. But the old-fashioned psyop way with a UK Parliament, I think, has gone. Those days are gone. So anyway, we'll see what people think. This is all just breaking for us, so it's not done with any organised. We're not done it in a very good formatted way to show people what we're talking about. But hopefully people will get some idea of where we're coming from, and maybe will know more about this and probably join the dots a lot better than us, because the dots are all over the place at the moment. So there we are, Peter.
Yep. I think we'll leave it there then, Stav. We'll close this one off and see what response we get from anybody who takes a look at it, a listen, and starts digging in. But I've just shown that maybe on Kernow, the party for Cornwall, and a few others. So yeah, we'll close it for now and we'll wait for the response.